Hello from Shalom Makers. Today we're going to go ahead and replace a dishwasher. So it's just one of these things that's not functioning as well as it should right now. So we're going to go ahead and replace it. I want to go ahead and share that with everybody in case if you need to do this at your house. It's a pretty simple task. It's only a couple screws to replace it and then a couple clamps in the back and disconnecting the power. So we'll take you through that, and at the end we will wrap it up and show you how the new one works. Thanks for watching. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is disconnect the power, which is simply pulling out the plug, and then we're going to go ahead and verify that it does not work. So we're going to go ahead and turn it on. And look at that, it does not work. So good, we're dead on power. Now we're going to go ahead and shut off the water. So what we've got here is very common. You can see the shutoff line is actually for both your kitchen and for your dishwasher. So we're going to go ahead and shut this off. So then you will no longer have water to either your kitchen sink as far as hot water or to your dishwasher. So we're going to go ahead and turn that on. And there we go. No water. Okay, so now we've cut off the power, we've shut off the water, and now we've unscrewed it. Now all we have to do is disconnect the drain line. So what we found was that we had to take off the lower panel. To expose where the legs are at. Because what happened is there's a piece of trim up here, and these two little shims that were under the bottom of it, actually just two pieces of tile, were actually preventing it from coming out. So in order to try not to take the trim off, we decided to go ahead and take the bottom panel off so that way this would slip out. And now we'll be able to open this up. We should be able to pull the whole unit out. There we go. So now it's starting to come out. Now we just got to disconnect the water line. We'll be back with you in a second. The tools that we're going to need for this job are going to be a 5/8 inch wrench for disconnecting the supply lines, a Phillips screwdriver so that way we can actually take out those two small screws on the top, a small pair of pliers for adjusting or taking off the clamps on the drain, and then possibly a flashlight so that way we can see underneath the counter. The hardware that we're going to use to install the new one is we got two clamps for the end of the drain lines, we got the two clips, and then also the two screws. That'll be what holds your dishwasher actually in up underneath the counter. We're going to go ahead and put in a new stainless steel flexible supply line. There's a little bit of a change on this one compared to the last one. The new dishwasher actually has a hose connection on it versus just a compression thread, and then we'll use compression on this side to go hook up to the supply line. And then here is the new drain line, which will actually hook up back up to your garbage disposal. We're going to go ahead and do that right now. So what we're getting ready to do here is we're going to go ahead and hook up the electrical cord so we can hook up the power to it. At this time, make sure you still have the power or the plug de-energized. Just take this nut, put it over your wires here, and you'll actually just screw it together. So you just take that, screw it right together. Now the next part is we're actually got to clamp the wire in place. So you take this piece right here, it's the back side of it, and then I get my Phillips bit Go ahead and put that on there. Sweet. So I just simply take this. Before we apply too much pressure to it, we're going to make sure we've got enough cord sticking through. And now we'll go ahead and tighten it down. Okay, so right now what else we're going to do is we're going to hook up black to black. Simply use a wire nut, hold it together, and we're going to do white to white. This sense is pretty simple as far as plug and play. And then the final piece we're going to do is we've got to ground this. So you got your green ground screw there. Just want to take your wire, wrap it around there. After you wrap it around there, you're just going to simply take your screwdriver and tighten it down. Now you're hooked up. So what we got to do is put the cover back on, and then we're ready to go.
What you making now?
The coleslaw.
So what we're doing right now is making sure that the hoses and the wires are not bound up in any way. So if you look underneath here, you can actually see the hoses themselves are going right through the hole, and then the electrical wire is going right through the hole. So we're going to go ahead and push in the final last 3 or 4 inches, and we should be good. And then we're going to go ahead and secure the dishwasher in place, then we'll give it a test run. Be right back with you. Okay, so we're back doing the final piece. We've installed it all the way. Now we're actually just installing the 2 Phillips screws, and then we will hook up the final plumbing. We'll be back to show you the drain and the water. So we're going to go ahead and put on this last clamp for that hooks up the drain. Got that set in place. I'm going to go ahead now, down below here, I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. And then the final piece I'm going to do is, taking the 5/8 inch wrench, I'm going to go ahead and tighten up the supply line for the dishwasher. So we'll tighten this down, we'll turn it on, and go to the next piece. Okay, we are back. It's actually draining right now. We did a test run. Drained, checked everything out. No leaks anywhere. So definitely feel good about that. The final piece that we're going to do is go ahead and install this final cover, which will then make it so it's soundproof. And after we're done with that, we're going to call it a successful job. Thanks for watching.